The Libyan revolution brought down Muammar Gaddafi 10 years ago. Now his son is running for president. What are Saif al-Islam Gaddafi's chances? And will December's election unite or create more divisions in Libya?
The people of Libya have witnessed many turning points since the fall of their longtime leader, Muammar Gaddafi. Yet one name still echoes across the deserts, cities, and broken streets: Saif al-Islam Gaddafi, the son of the late Libyan leader. After years of silence and disappearance from the public eye, his reappearance has stirred deep emotions inside and outside Libya. To some, it is a sign of rebirth. To others, it awakens old memories of power, fear, and defiance. For years, the world had almost forgotten him. But now, in 2025, unconfirmed reports claim that Saif al-Islam has been seen again, meeting tribal elders, forming alliances, and quietly preparing for a return to national leadership. His name alone is enough to shake Libya's fragile political foundation. For the international community, his reemergence is unsettling. But for millions of Libyans living in poverty, fear, and uncertainty, his presence sparks an emotion that has become rare in the country: hope. When the Gaddafi regime was destroyed in 2011, the world was told that Libya would soon become a beacon of democracy. Instead, the nation plunged into chaos. The once unified state turned into a battlefield of militias and rival governments. Hospitals stopped functioning, schools were abandoned, public institutions collapsed. Libya's oil, once the foundation of Africa's most prosperous welfare system, fell into the hands of militias and foreign brokers. For ordinary citizens, life became a daily struggle. Blackouts, shortages, and insecurity became part of everyday existence. Women who once walked freely began living under threat. Teachers, doctors, and farmers all watched their livelihoods vanish in a storm of corruption and war. In this darkness, memories of the past began to shine again. Many Libyans, though not blind to the mistakes of the old regime, found themselves remembering an era of stability, a time of free healthcare, free education, and national pride. That nostalgia has slowly turned into a political force. And in that emotional landscape, Saif al-Islam Gaddafi has reemerged. During his father's rule, he was seen as a modern face of the regime, educated abroad, fluent in multiple languages, and eager to introduce reforms. Some believed he could have guided Libya toward gradual modernization while preserving its independence. When the 2011 uprising erupted, Saif stood beside his father, defending the government against armed rebels and foreign intervention. After the regime's collapse, he was captured by a militia group and held in isolation for years. In the eyes of many Libyans, his survival was almost mythical. Sentenced to death in absentia, accused of crimes by international institutions, he was expected to vanish forever. Yet fate had other plans. In 2017, he was released under an amnesty by authorities in the East. Since then, his life has been a mixture of secrecy and speculation. Occasionally, a photograph or a leaked video reminded people that he was still alive. Then, in 2021, he broke his silence, speaking of Libya's suffering and calling for national reconciliation. His words resonated with a population tired of endless wars. He spoke about restoring Libya's dignity, rebuilding its economy, and ending foreign interference. To his followers, these were not empty promises. They were reminders of a time when Libya was sovereign and strong. But his critics warn that such nostalgia could bring back authoritarianism. They argue that Libya's problem is not just the absence of Gaddafi's leadership, but the legacy of unchecked power that allowed corruption to thrive. The question facing Libya now is complex. Could the return of a Gaddafi heal the nation, or would it reopen old wounds? After more than a decade of division, Libya remains split between two rival administrations, one based in Tripoli and the other in Benghazi. Both claim legitimacy. Both are propped up by foreign backers. Neither has delivered unity. In this vacuum, militias have flourished. They control neighborhoods, borders, and even state institutions. Some trade oil illegally, others traffic weapons and people across the Mediterranean. These groups have no interest in peace, for war has become their business. And for Libya, the longer this chaos continues, the harder it becomes to rebuild. Many believe that Saif al-Islam's name alone carries enough weight to bridge some of these divides. His father ruled through a system of tribal alliances that balanced power across regions. Today, some of those same tribes remain loyal to the Gaddafi family, particularly in the south and parts of the west. For them, his return could mean the return of order. But his path is not simple. The international criminal charges against him remain unresolved. Although the institutions that issued them have lost credibility among many Libyans, they still carry symbolic weight abroad. Western commentators already describe his reappearance as a threat to stability, the same phrase used years ago to justify military intervention. They fear that a Gaddafi revival would mark the failure of their decade-long strategy in Libya and challenge their economic interests in the region. Libya possesses the largest proven oil reserves in Africa, a resource that has long attracted foreign influence. Any leader who dares to assert full national control over this wealth becomes an obstacle to external powers. During Muammar Gaddafi's time, Libya invested its oil profits in housing, education, and development projects across Africa. His vision of a self-reliant continent challenged the dominance of foreign institutions. Saif al-Islam's possible return threatens to revive that same ideology, one rooted in sovereignty, pan-African cooperation, and resistance to exploitation. Still, Saif's political image is layered with contradictions. Some say he has learned from the past and may pursue a more balanced approach, one that keeps Libya independent while engaging constructively with other nations. Others fear he might compromise too much, allowing external influence to creep back under new labels. Whatever his true intentions, his reappearance has forced Libya and Africa to confront an uncomfortable truth. Despite years of promises, external intervention has not brought democracy, peace, or prosperity. Instead, it left behind a wounded nation, a divided people, and an economy at the mercy of foreign hands. The revival of the Gaddafi legacy, whether symbolic or political, is therefore not just about one man, it's about a collective yearning for dignity. Libya's reality today is grim. Infrastructure remains shattered. Many roads and bridges destroyed in 2011 have never been rebuilt. Hospitals struggle with shortages of medicine. Schools operate irregularly. Corruption runs deep, and national institutions remain weak. Foreign troops and mercenaries are still stationed in parts of the country, making real sovereignty almost impossible. Rebuilding will require not just leadership but national trust, something no recent government has achieved. If Saif al-Islam is to lead, he must overcome more than legal barriers. He must heal psychological wounds. Entire generations have grown up knowing only war. Young people born after 2011 have never seen a functioning nation. Convincing them to unite under a single flag will take more than speeches. It will require results. He would need to restore basic services, disarm militias, and ensure that Libya's oil wealth benefits all citizens rather than a handful of armed groups. It is a nearly impossible task. Yet the fact that Libyans even discuss his return shows how desperate they are for stability. The possibility of a Gaddafi comeback stirs fear abroad but awakens debate at home. To some, it represents a dangerous step backward. To others, it offers the last remaining hope for national revival. Observers say that whatever path Libya chooses, the outcome will shape not only its future, but also Africa's wider struggle for self-determination. Libya sits at a critical crossroads between Africa, the Mediterranean, and the Arab world. Its politics influence migration routes, regional trade, and energy prices. If Saif al-Islam rises as a nationalist leader who asserts control over Libya's resources, it could inspire other African nations to demand greater independence. If he fails, it may reinforce the idea that no country can resist the weight of foreign influence. For now, nothing is confirmed. Reports about his activities remain uncertain. Some claim he is building political alliances. Others say he prefers to stay behind the scenes, testing the mood of the people. What is clear, however, is that his name has re-entered Libya's national conversation. Whether he becomes president or not, Saif al-Islam Gaddafi has already reignited the debate about Libya's sovereignty, its destiny, and its place in Africa. As Libya stands at another crossroads, its people face a difficult choice: continue down the road of division and foreign dependency, or reclaim control of their nation's destiny, no matter who leads that charge. For now, the world watches closely, but only Libyans can decide what kind of future they want. Perhaps the real question is not whether Saif al-Islam can return to power, but whether Libya itself can return to unity. A decade of war has taught its people that freedom without stability means nothing. Bread, safety, and dignity have become more urgent than political slogans. The one who restores those will win the hearts of Libya's people, whether his name is Gaddafi or not.